A lot happening in this case. This little girl disappears after a play date with a little friend. Straight out to Blake Taylor with KMJ 580 News Radio. Blake, what's the latest? What can you tell me about police searching a dumpster? That can't be good.
A dump site, as a matter of fact. No, it's not. Nancy, thanks for having me back, by the way. Investigators, scouring through the trash at the dump site south side of Tracy today and yesterday, as a matter of fact. Now, they won't say exactly what they're looking for other than possible evidence. We don't know if they're looking for a body, anything like that at this point. They won't divulge any details, but we don't know if they found anything either. Cadaver dogs have been out the past few days as well. Obviously not a good sign, police, but they say that's routine in a missing persons case like this. They say they're not ruling anything out right now. Police spokesman Lieutenant Jeremy Watney this morning said they're checking out anything and everything. You got to keep in mind, they're really frustrated right now because of the lack of movement and progress in this case. They say they're narrowing things down, but they've received nearly 500 tips in the past few days alone, 100 yesterday alone, that they're having to research and dive deep into.
Everyone, the tip line, 800-843-5678 or 209-831-6847. With me right now, special guest Lieutenant Jeremy Watney. He is with the Tracy Police Department. Lieutenant, thank you for being with us. Tell me about the search. Is it by ground, by foot, by air?
Hi, Nancy. Thank you for the time to talk about this case.
Yes, sir.
It is by all methods. And just to clarify a couple things, we started looking at the trash site here where they bring in the trash every day to just cover all the trash coming in from the city of Tracy. We had nothing specific to lead us there to think that we were going to find everything, but it's one of those things we need to do now because then down the road people ask, hey, why didn't you at least check? We are checking everybody's trash that is coming in every single day just to cover that base.
Lieutenant Watney, I'm so relieved to hear that. Just recently, I'm sure you're familiar with the Haley Cummings case we're coming down and covering in Satsuma, Florida. You know, a month after the fact, after she goes missing, the police searched a particular dumpster. Now, I don't know if they searched it earlier. If they did, we didn't know about it. And the big question was, what took you so long? You know, these are basic, elementary things. I'm glad you did that. At least you can rule it out. What about the rest of the search, Lieutenant?
The rest of it, you know, it's interesting because a lot of people continue to bring up the fact, oh, the odds aren't in your favor and things like that. But the cool thing about odds is there's always odds on the other side of the ledger. And I know I'm following a tough story with what happened down in Florida, but I refuse to believe that our case is going to end like that. Today, as a matter of fact, we had more people in our briefing between the FBI and the other agencies that are helping the Tracy Police Department. And I got a really good feeling in the briefing that we're locking on to some good leads and that this investigation is headed in the right direction. I think everybody's feeling pretty upbeat about, you know, that we're starting to really make progress in this investigation.
Yeah, of course there's the cases of Elizabeth Smart, Ben Omby. There are cases where children are found alive, and we're holding on to that hope. In the case of little Sandra Cantu, everyone, she is 4 feet tall. She's only 45 pounds. Brown hair, brown eyes. She's a second grader. Please take a look at this gorgeous little girl. Out to Sebastian Kuntz with KNEW. He's joining us from San Francisco. Sebastian, thank you for being with us. Sebastian, what can you tell me about the two people named as persons of interest and about some guy, about 60 years old, kissing the little girl on the mouth in a pool? That can't be good.
Again, you're right. It can't be good, but it's also one of those stories that doesn't appear to be going very far. This is, you're referring to Frank Wohler, a martial arts instructor and the owner of a martial arts shop in the Tracy area. By the way, not a low-key kind of a guy at all. This martial arts shop was actually rated the best in Tracy in 2007, so this is not a guy who is hiding from the limelight, but it does seem incredibly strange that I know that when I'm swimming, I don't make kissy face with people who I'm not familiar with at the
Sebastian, good to know. But police are not confirming that anybody's been named a person of interest.
That is correct. I'm hearing there are two persons of interest, and the media is kind of glomming onto two of these men. One of them is Frank Wohler. The other is Chris Sinclair, who was actually arrested for getting in the way of the investigation. It's unclear as to whether he is actually one of the persons of interest. Police are keeping a tight lid on the names of those people that they're interested in this evening.
I want to go out to a special guest joining us. This is Sandra Cantu's aunt, Angie Chavez. Ms. Chavez, thank you for being with us. Ms. Chavez, we are getting...
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. We are getting flooded with questions from viewers. Many of them